Joining me now is retirement planner Ron Reinstein. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Nikki.
Now, recent surveys show that people are not saving enough for retirement and in some cases not saving at all. Do you know why this is?
There's a lot of factors that go into that, Nikki. A lot of times we're all faced with the decision, do you want something now or do you want to wait? And typically the now is going to win out. People aren't saving for retirement. It can be, money's tight day to day, so there's not enough extra that they feel to save. Sometimes too, people think that they can accelerate their savings down the road, but I'd rather address the issues now. The other part too is that there's frustration with the process of investing, so they don't stick to it on a consistent basis. The market goes negative, they feel this isn't worth it, and this is if you have a long time frame, this is when you should be investing. Also too is that they want a large sum of money to accumulate in a rather quick period of time.
Yeah, and that's such an important point to look at, the long term of investing. And at what age should someone start saving for retirement?
The sooner that someone saves, that's going to be the better off for them down the road, because even if you're working part-time in college or in high school, even if you're doing $30 a month or $50 a month to a Roth IRA, it will definitely add up for you over the course of time. Even if you get a job out of college, and I understand student debt is a big issue for a lot of college graduates these days, save into your 401k. Even if you get a little bit of a match, try to contribute up to the match. Same thing too, time will let that number compound for you over for their benefit down the road.
I know, it's so crazy because I feel like I started saving early and I still am so worried about retirement because pensions seem to be a thing of the past, and it's now more than ever upon the individual to save.
Yeah, pensions are definitely a thing of the past, because even if you look at New York State, we're up to tier 6 now with the retirement system. So an employee is going to be contributing for their whole working career into that system. The other part too is even, pensions, what we saw in 2000, 2001, the airline pensions were severely reduced. 2008, with the auto industry collapse, their pensions were reduced too. And then people have a concern with Social Security. It will be there. However, is that going to be enough for someone to sustain living? That's a tough question to answer, but that's why any amount possible, save into your 401k, a Roth IRA, deferred comp, just be disciplined and let it go to work for you over the course of time.
Now, what are the limits for investing into a Roth IRA or a 401k?
The income limits could be like for the Roth IRA, if you make if you make over $108,000 to $138,000 a year, if you're filing single, that's where you start to phase out. But if you are under that limit, you can contribute up to $5,500 a year under the age of 50. Over the age of 50, they allow you to put in $6,500 a year.
Okay, and then a lot of people's success is different for everyone, but what would you consider a successful retirement?
A successful retirement is going to have enough money to pay your fixed expenses and also your variable expenses. So you want to make sure that you want to look at where they are right now, because this is why we work. So is there enough money to pay for the property taxes, gas for your car, your health insurance? More importantly, too, you need to eat, so food for the fridge. But also, what do you want to do for fun when you retire? If it's traveling, if it's golfing, if it's donating more to charity, you need to take an honest assessment and say, here's where my expenses are today, and then look down the road and say, is there enough money to come in to pay for those expenses in your 60s, your 70s, and as life expectancy continues to grow, your 80s and your 90s. And at this point in time, that's why we always want to emphasize for people, especially that are younger, even if it's saving $1 a day, it's not much, but it will add up for you over the course of time.
And when people retire, do you find that the transition for them is hard now, living on what they earned and accumulated their entire life?
Yeah, the transition will become tough because, again, market influences in terms of distributions. That's where we need to make sure that enough is saved, that if there is any type of downturn in the market, that it's not as affected as much, so that you can still sustain that same standard of living that you're accustomed to.
All right, so the bottom line is start saving today.
You got it. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us, Ron.
Thank you for having me.
If you would like more information, you can reach Ron by calling the Financial Guys at 633-1515. That's 633-1515.